Now I'm going to jump into air purifiers. So really ventilation, really good air quality is key for trying to keep COVID down indoors. And so I'm going to talk about some factors to consider when buying one, some example units for large rooms, small to medium rooms, and then also some personal and portable air purifiers. So there are quite a few things to consider, and this list is not even comprehensive for what to think about when you're buying an air purifier or thinking about buying one. So the filter type, is it a HEPA filter? Is it a kind of a knockoff HEPA filter? Is it a PCOS filter, which uses a photocatalytic reaction to break things down? That's what the molecule uses. I don't think that filter is quite good enough yet per some of the studies out on it. What is the smallest particulate size that it filters? So many HEPA filters go down to 0.3 microns, which is the size of the particle, the smallest particle that it can filter. But there are many, including ones I'll go through, that filter much smaller particle sizes, some even down to the size of some of the smallest viruses that we know of. Also things like filter life. How long is the filter going to last before you have to replace it? Because that's, extra effort, and you might forget, and then the filter's not working that well. So you're running it, but it's not really cleaning the air. And also it adds to cost. So if you have to replace a filter every 6 months, that will add into the cost of the lifetime of the air purifier, and you need to think about that up front. Also, it's important to know what room size the unit's rated for. So certain filters, they test them to see how quickly can they filter all the air in a room within an hour, or also how many times per hour in a smaller room. This is important to know because let's say you have a room that's really high traffic, like a dining room, where people are sitting and they're eating with their masks off and things like that, and they're talking. This room might need a filter, an air purifier that can cycle through all the air in the room several times an hour, rather than just once an hour, to really keep up with all of the particles. The Cater, this is basically a kind of a rating or score of how quickly that particular filter can filter out a specific type of particulate, something like smoke, pollen, pet dander, in a room of a certain size. So generally speaking, the higher the Cater, the faster it can filter out that particular particulate in a room. Noise level is important because many times a lot of these tests that are run with the filter on its highest speed setting, which is usually the loudest setting. So if you're getting that, I would look at the top end of the noise range and say, hey, is this something I could really tolerate or not? Generally 25 decibels is considered pretty quiet for a filter. Getting up into like 50, 60, 70 is getting up there pretty loud. Because if it's something you're going to be running in your bedroom at night, you want it to be quiet, but still filter. If it's something in your living room or your dining room and you want to be able to hear people talking over it, you don't want it to be so loud that it drowns out people. Cost, factor in the cost of the purifier, but also of the filters. And I misspelled warranty here. Warranty and return policy is important. Let's say you get it and it breaks, or it's too noisy and you want to return it. Certifications and testing, like have they tested it against SARS-CoV-2 or other viruses? That's important. And then reviews and ratings. What have been other people's experience? There are also some kind of extra and unique features that you can consider. So things like carbon filters, they help with odors. UVC, that helps with kind of sanitizing the filter and some of the air going through it. Ionizers, they spew out ions to charge some of the particles in the air so that when those particles flow through, they will stick to charged plates or surfaces within the filter. So it kind of adds to its ability to get smaller particles out. Ozone. Generally ozone, even though it's a good antimicrobial, it's not good to breathe ozone. So I would avoid filters that put off ozone as a byproduct. So large room air purifiers. So this is something for like 1,000 square foot room or higher. So some of these, the IQair, this is generally a good brand. They are kind of expensive. The HealthPro series, these are anywhere from like $799 and up. It filters 99.5% of particles down to 0.003 microns, which that is the smallest I have seen in terms of filter, the ability to filter. The filters in these last quite a bit longer than standard. There are 3 filters in this. So the shortest lived filter lasts 16 months, but there are some models where they have less filters and it lasts 4 years. So you don't really have as many of the filter replacement costs that you do with other units. This has actually been tested on ability to filter viruses and bacteria in the airborne state. And it was chosen by the Hong Kong Hospital Authority for both the SARS-CoV-1 and SARS-CoV-2 outbreaks. Austin Air is also a good one. However, I was reading some reviews on this, and actually I bought one myself, and I had the exact same experience as the reviews. So it's a fairly expensive unit. It's very heavy. A lot of people were saying that it arrived dented or had paint on it. Mine had both. It still worked, but it was also quite loud on high. And so really it was so loud, we just couldn't really hear each other talking. And so we ended up returning it. It is a good one for, let's say, a setting where maybe you've got, the noise is not as big of a problem. Small to medium room air purifiers. So the Coway Airmega is a pretty good one. It's rated for rooms up to 361 square feet. Right now it's on sale, I think, on Amazon for $169, but its standard price is $199. The HEPA filter has to be replaced every year. The deodorizer filter every 6 months. This one has been tested against SARS-CoV-2 and has a pretty good, like 99.98% of removing the virus. It goes down to 0.01 microns, which is pretty darn good. And it also has a pretty high Cater against smoke, dust, and pollen. This unit's fairly small, but it can really move air quite well. The BlueAir 7770i, this one is actually rated for larger rooms. It can clear out all the air in a 674 square foot room in about 12 minutes. It is quite a bit more expensive. It's a true HEPA, 99% filtration, down to a much lower, down to 0.1 microns. And it has a germ shield filter that kills organisms that get caught in the filter. GermGuardian, this one's probably the least expensive here, but it is a smaller unit that this one goes down to 0.3 microns, and it can circulate air roughly about 5 times an hour in a 153 square foot room. So this one's kind of smaller. This one is actually on sale. They have a $25 off coupon, even from the $94. So it's pretty cheap unit. So you could potentially even just get several of these. And then there's personal air purifiers. So these are ones that are portable. They can be powered by batteries. So you could theoretically take them with you. The IQair HealthPro desk, this one is bigger. So this like fits on your desk. It has a special carrying case that's about the size of like a small backpack. It can run 12 hours with a power pack. It's kind of expensive though, $399. It blows the air directly at your face. So it kind of creates like, it puts it right where you need it. And it filters down to 0.03 microns. The LG Purifier, this is a really tiny portable one. This weighs 1.2 pounds, 8-hour battery life. The filtration is not quite as good, and it doesn't get into specifics about how small the molecules were that I was able to find. This one's about $199, although I think this one is also on sale on Amazon for maybe about like $169 or something. But this one you can kind of fit in your purse, take it with you.